Did you know your daily coffee with something quietly raises your cancer risk? Most people think of coffee as a harmless, even healthy habit. It gives you energy, keeps your mind sharp, and has even been linked to longer life in some studies. But what few seniors realize is that common coffee additives and habits may do more harm than good, and even raise the risk of digestive, liver, or colon cancer. And the worst part is, you'd never know it from the label or the taste. In this video, we're going to walk through 5 hidden dangers, things that millions of older adults do with their coffee every single morning that doctors have begun warning about more urgently in recent years. This isn't about fear or giving up coffee altogether. It's about knowing how to protect yourself by avoiding certain combinations that have quietly shown up in cancer-related studies and senior health reports. We'll break down the science behind each one, offer safer alternatives, and help you enjoy your coffee with more peace of mind. Stay with us until the end, because the final point might be the one most people overlook, and it has nothing to do with the coffee itself, but with what's happening in your body when you drink it. So whether you're someone who starts every day with a hot cup, or you've been drinking coffee the same way for 50 years, this might be the information that helps you make one simple change that protects your health for the long run. Let's begin. Number 1, artificial sweeteners, better alternatives available. There's a good chance you've added a pink packet, a blue one, or even a few drops of clear liquid into your coffee at some point, especially if you've been trying to cut down on sugar. And while artificial sweeteners may seem like the smarter, low-calorie option, research has been raising serious concerns about their long-term effects, especially in seniors. Several laboratory studies and long-term reviews have suggested that compounds like saccharin, aspartame, and sucralose may disrupt gut health, increase inflammation, and potentially influence the development of certain cancers when consumed regularly over time. Now, to be clear, these sweeteners are still approved for general use, and you won't find a warning label on your coffee shop's sweetener station. But that doesn't mean they're harmless, especially when used daily in hot beverages like coffee, where heat may increase the instability of some of these chemicals. For older adults whose bodies already process toxins more slowly, and whose immune defenses may not be as strong as they once were, this quiet daily exposure can add up. I once knew a woman named Elaine, 77, who was proud of how she had switched from sugar to artificial sweeteners in her coffee years ago. She was careful with her weight, tried to eat clean, and thought she was doing the right thing. But over time, she started having digestive problems, bloating, cramping, and unexplained fatigue. Her doctor didn't see anything serious at first, but a specialist finally asked about her diet, and the conversation turned to her coffee. When she cut out the sweeteners and switched to a splash of milk and cinnamon, her symptoms eased within weeks. Even beyond the digestive system, scientists have found that artificial sweeteners may affect the brain's response to real sugar, making you crave sweets more often and eat more throughout the day. That can quietly lead to weight gain, insulin resistance, and a cascade of health effects that extend far beyond your morning cup. If you love a little sweetness in your coffee, there are safer ways to enjoy it. A small amount of real honey, some mashed banana, or even a sprinkle of cinnamon can satisfy your palate without introducing questionable chemicals. It's not about giving up everything you love. It's about replacing it with something that loves you back, something your body understands and can process without confusion or strain. When we're young, our systems recover more easily. But as we age, the little things start to matter more. That sweetener you add without thinking could be sending signals your body is struggling to handle. And over time, those signals can grow into symptoms, then diagnoses. So the next time you reach for a packet, ask yourself, is this helping me feel lighter? Or is it just quietly weighing me down? That small question could lead to a much healthier answer. Number 2, non-dairy creamers and the problem with trans fats. That little splash of creamy sweetness in your coffee might seem innocent, but if it's coming from a powdered or liquid, non-dairy creamer, there's a risk hiding just beneath the surface. Many popular creamers contain hydrogenated oils, which are a major source of trans fats, a substance so harmful to heart health and cell function that it's been banned in several countries and sharply restricted in many food products. But even now, small traces can still show up in shelf-stable creamers, especially those with long ingredient lists and artificial flavorings. And when those creamers are mixed into a hot cup of coffee, they can produce reactions that your body wasn't designed to handle. Trans fats don't just affect your cholesterol. They increase inflammation throughout the body, interfere with normal metabolic functions, and may even contribute to the development of certain cancers. For seniors whose bodies are already more prone to inflammation and slower at clearing harmful substances, these effects can be magnified. What starts as a simple morning habit can, over months and years, quietly wear down the systems you rely on to stay healthy, active, and resilient. I once met a man named Walter, 82, who was proud of how he had cut back on sugar and started using low-fat powdered creamer instead of milk. He thought he was making a better choice, but his cholesterol numbers didn't budge, and his digestion worsened. After a conversation with a nutritionist, he learned that his creamer, marketed as heart healthy, still contained partially hydrogenated oils. He switched to unsweetened almond milk, and within 3 months, not only did his lab numbers improve, but the persistent bloating he had blamed on age disappeared. One reason these creamers are especially problematic is that they're often flavored French vanilla, hazelnut, caramel, and packed with additives to mimic real dairy's taste and texture. When heated, especially repeatedly, these chemicals can interact in unpredictable ways. And while the studies on long-term cancer risk from creamer additives are still ongoing, many experts believe the combination of trans fats, synthetic emulsifiers, and heat could increase oxidative stress and damage cellular DNA, two known contributors to cancer development. If you enjoy coffee with a creamy texture, there are better options. Full-fat milk, oat milk, or even a spoonful of coconut cream can offer richness without the harmful compounds. These choices also tend to contain nutrients like calcium, vitamin D, or healthy fats that support your body instead of undermining it. And unlike artificial creamers, they don't contain mystery ingredients that behave unpredictably when exposed to heat. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 3, reheated coffee and the danger of chemical breakdown. Coffee is often a symbol of comfort and routine. You pour yourself a cup in the morning, set it aside for a moment, and come back later to reheat it, maybe in the microwave, maybe on the stove. But what seems like a harmless convenience might actually be harming your health more than you realize. Studies have shown that repeatedly reheating brewed coffee can lead to a breakdown of its natural oils and acids, releasing compounds that may become irritants and, in some cases, possible carcinogens, especially when consumed daily over time. The problem isn't just that reheated coffee tastes bitter, it's what happens on a chemical level. As coffee cools and is then reheated, certain molecules begin to degrade and oxidize. One of the byproducts of this process is a group of unstable compounds that can increase oxidative stress in the body. Oxidative stress is a condition where harmful molecules, called free radicals, build up and begin to damage healthy cells. Over time, this damage is believed to play a role in everything, from aging to the formation of cancerous cells, especially in the gastrointestinal tract. Now you might be thinking, surely one reheated cup won't hurt me, and that's true. The concern isn't the occasional cup, it's the habit. For seniors who drink coffee daily, sometimes several times a day, and rely on reheating it again and again, this repetitive exposure becomes part of a larger pattern that places strain on the body's defense systems. Add in the fact that older adults naturally produce fewer antioxidants, and the risk becomes even more pronounced. I remember a woman named Dolores, 79, who would brew a full pot of coffee each morning and drink from it all day. She kept it on the warmer or microwaved it when it cooled. Over the years, she began experiencing heartburn, stomach aches, and a constant sour taste in her mouth. Her doctor originally blamed acid reflux, but nothing seemed to help. Eventually, a dietitian asked about her coffee habits, and when she switched to making a fresh cup each time, or using a thermal carafe instead, her symptoms began to fade. To minimize risk, the best solution is simple: avoid reheating coffee altogether. If you tend to sip slowly or get distracted, try using a thermal mug or insulated carafe that keeps coffee hot without needing to reheat. If you must reheat, use a glass or ceramic container, not plastic, and do it only once. Better yet, brew smaller amounts more often. Not only will it taste better, but your body will thank you for reducing the hidden load of stress it's been silently managing behind the scenes. What feels like a harmless convenience may quietly be introducing extra strain on the very systems you're trying to protect. And as we age, our bodies appreciate clarity, not confusion, natural substances, not degraded ones. That second or third reheat might save a minute, but it may be asking your body to do a lot more work in return. And over time, that toll becomes harder to ignore. Number 4, burnt foods in the acrylamide coffee combo. Many seniors enjoy a warm cup of coffee alongside toast, breakfast muffin, or even the crispy edge of a fried dish. It's a pairing that feels familiar, almost comforting. But if that toast is burnt or that muffin edge is blackened, you could be unintentionally combining two cancer-linked compounds, one from your food and one from your coffee, in a way that magnifies their effects. That compound is called acrylamide, and while many people have never heard of it, health researchers have been sounding the alarm about it for years. Acrylamide forms naturally in certain foods during high-temperature cooking, especially when starches are browned or burned. Think overcooked toast, browned potato edges, or even well-done fries. Coffee also contains acrylamide as it develops during the roasting of coffee beans. Alone, the levels may not seem alarming, but when you combine acrylamide-rich foods with a beverage that already contains it, the total load rises quickly, and the impact on older bodies, especially those already dealing with chronic inflammation or weakened detox systems, can be significant. I knew a gentleman named Fred, 81, who loved his breakfast routine: 2 slices of extra toasted bread, black coffee, and sometimes a well-done sausage. He didn't think much of it until his doctor mentioned a spike in certain inflammatory markers during a routine checkup. With some gentle nudging, Fred began using a toaster on a lighter setting, swapping sausage for fruit, and opting for a lighter roast coffee. He didn't change everything overnight, but within months he felt less bloated, his energy improved, and even his skin tone looked clearer. Scientists have found that acrylamide may interfere with DNA repair and promote oxidative stress, both of which are linked to cancer formation, especially in the colon and kidneys. For seniors already facing a slower cellular turnover and more fragile internal systems, this kind of damage adds up. And the problem is, most of it happens quietly. You won't feel it after one breakfast or even a week, but over time, the body keeps score. One reason this combination is especially risky is that coffee, by nature, speeds up digestion and can help carry substances through your system more quickly. When acrylamide-rich foods are consumed at the same time, there's a chance these compounds are absorbed more efficiently and not in a good way. While the research is still evolving, many medical professionals now encourage seniors to avoid pairing browned or blackened foods with coffee as a precaution. To protect yourself, start by watching your toast and baked goods. Light golden is fine. Dark brown and blackened edges should be trimmed or tossed. If you enjoy frying food, keep the temperature moderate and never let the surface burn. And if you love coffee, consider switching to a lighter roast, which tends to contain slightly less acrylamide than darker roasts. It's not about fear, it's about being informed, so your daily choices work for your health, not quietly against it. You've spent years building habits that feel like home. But some of those habits were formed before we knew what we know now. And one of the quiet strengths of aging is the ability to change. Not everything, but enough to stay strong, sharp, and here for as long as you can. Small shifts, done daily, often offer the biggest returns, especially when it comes to things you've been doing for decades without realizing what they might be doing back. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 5, drinking coffee on an empty stomach while stressed. For many seniors, coffee is the first thing that touches their lips in the morning. Before breakfast, before water, even before a deep breath. It's part of a comforting ritual, waking up, brewing a cup, and sitting quietly with your thoughts. But when coffee meets an empty stomach, especially during a time of emotional stress, it can quietly begin to erode your digestive strength, increase acid production, and trigger a hormonal response that places strain on your entire system. And over the long term, this repeated combination may not just cause discomfort, it may set the stage for serious illness, including certain types of gastrointestinal cancers. Here's what happens. When you drink coffee on an empty stomach, it triggers the release of hydrochloric acid in your gut. Without food present to buffer this acid, the lining of the stomach becomes more vulnerable to irritation. For some, this leads to heartburn. For others, ulcers. And for many, a slow weakening of the gut barrier. Add stress to the mix, whether from grief, worry, or chronic emotional fatigue, and the body releases cortisol, a hormone that not only suppresses digestion, but increases inflammation throughout the body. This double hit, acidity and stress, can create a perfect storm over time. I once met a woman named Joan, 75, who had been drinking coffee first thing every morning for more than 40 years. She thought nothing of it. It was her routine. But after a difficult year caring for her ill husband, her health took a turn. She developed persistent stomach pain and was eventually diagnosed with gastritis. Her doctor gently asked about her morning habits, and when she started drinking water first, then eating a light breakfast before coffee, her symptoms eased. It wasn't an instant cure, but it gave her body a chance to heal. There's also a less visible consequence. When coffee is consumed while stressed, it amplifies that stress response, causing your heart rate to increase, your muscles to tense, and your ability to digest food later in the day to diminish. This creates a cascade effect: poor digestion, weakened immunity, nutrient deficiencies, and for some, the beginnings of cellular damage that can quietly grow worse over time. For older adults who are already more sensitive to hormonal shifts and internal inflammation, this pattern can quietly chip away at their health, even as they believe they're simply starting their day as usual. One of the most protective changes you can make is to break the habit of drinking coffee on an empty stomach. It doesn't mean giving up coffee. It means drinking a glass of water first. Having a piece of toast, a boiled egg, a bit of fruit, anything to line the stomach and provide your system with something solid before introducing acid and caffeine. You might be surprised how much calmer your mornings feel, how much more stable your mood becomes, and how much easier digestion gets throughout the day. And if you're going through a period of emotional difficulty, consider delaying coffee altogether until you've taken time to stretch, breathe, or speak with someone supportive. Coffee, like any stimulant, can amplify what's already inside you. If you're calm, it can energize. If you're anxious, it can overwhelm. The goal is to give your body and mind a gentle beginning, not a jolt that causes quiet harm over time. Your health at this stage of life isn't just about what you eat or drink, it's about how and when you do it. And while coffee has its benefits, combining it with stress and an empty stomach is one of the most common and avoidable risks faced by older adults. With one small change in timing and rhythm, you can continue enjoying what you love, while protecting the parts of your body that quietly work hard to keep you strong every single day. For a week, final thoughts. You've just learned 5 common habits that many seniors unknowingly repeat every day. Habits that, when paired with coffee, may quietly increase the risk of cancer over time. But this isn't a message of fear. It's a message of awareness and, more importantly, of opportunity. Because every single one of these risks can be reduced and in many cases eliminated with just a few simple changes. Whether it's switching out artificial sweeteners, avoiding non-dairy creamers, making a fresh cup instead of reheating, watching what you pair with your coffee, or simply eating before that first sip, these small adjustments can have a powerful, protective effect on your body, especially as you grow older. It's not about giving up coffee. It's about enjoying it in a way that supports your health rather than undermining it. You've spent decades building routines, shaping habits, and doing what works for you. But sometimes the most loving thing we can do for ourselves is to look at those routines again, with new knowledge, with new care, and with the wisdom that comes from age. What once worked for your body at 40 may not serve you the same way at 70 or 80. And that's not weakness, it's simply evolution. Your body has changed. Your needs have changed. And now your habits can too. What matters most is that you don't need to overhaul your life to protect your health. You just need to make a few conscious swaps. Choose creamers with real ingredients. Enjoy your toast but not burnt. Don't microwave the same cup 3 times. Eat before you sip. Respect what your body's telling you, even if it speaks quietly, because the earlier you listen, the longer and better you live. That's not just science, that's self-respect in motion. If this video helped you see your coffee routine in a new light, or reminded you of something your body's been trying to tell you, take a moment to reflect on what you might change tomorrow. You don't need to get it perfect. You just need to move in a better direction, one sip at a time. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.